Hello and welcome to Latvia for round 2 of the 2013 FIA European Rally Championship, the Rally Liepaja Ventspils. Taking place between the cities of Liepaja and Ventspils on Latvia's Baltic coast to the west of the capital Riga. It's a brand new event and the first designated snow rally to be a part of the ERC since it was restructured in 2004. Now the rally moved across from Liepaja to Ventspils yesterday during the second leg. Latvia very keen to show as much of what the country has to offer as possible. Now, Ventspils is known as a city on the move and is located on the River Venta in the northern part of Latvia. And the port of Ventspils will be 750 years old in 2013. There we go then, highlights of legs 1 and 2. Craig Breen, Dave Moynihan in the Peugeot 207. Run by Santalok, of course, for Peugeot Rally Academy. Won every one of the first 5 stages. As the later stages of leg 2 featured longer, high-speed sections, they had to settle for second place. The car not quite as quick in a straight line, but both very pleased, Breen and Moynihan, to be sitting in second and suggesting that they wouldn't give up the fight. Jari Kettemar and Kai Lindström in the Ford Fiesta Regional Rally car, fastest on the qualifying stage before the event. Didn't find the same pace early on in the competitive stages, struggling a little bit in the dark on Friday night. But on Saturday's faster stages, made the most of the 1.6 turbo engine in the Regional Rally car Fiesta. Took the lead on special stage 6 and won 4 stages in a row. End of leg 2, 12.1 seconds ahead of Breen. Francois Delacour, French legend, has been on the limit everywhere. Can hear the car on the limiter there. Desperate to make up time due to choosing ratios which were too short. That's what happens when you're pushing too hard. Just about able to break the 100-mile-an-hour mark. Deficit of around 20 to 30 miles per hour on some of his competitors, and even having to hold the door shut as well on Friday night. Alexei Lukianuk, the Russian driver, this was one of Francois' main competitors yesterday. Driving a Group N Lancer Evo 10, reaching speeds of 125 miles an hour. Not a huge surprise when he overtook Delacour for 3rd place. And this is Vytautas Sveidas from Lithuania. 5th overall at the end of leg 2, 2nd in the Production Car Cup, 1 minute 18 behind class leader Lukianuk. Great drive by Sveidas. He's a 4 times Lithuanian champion, so not massively unexpected. Here we are then, this is how they stand after leg 2. Kettemar leading Breen by 12.1 and then Lukianuk ahead of Delacour there by around 14 seconds. So those are the 2 battles. Jan Černý, his speed was increasing yesterday in the Fabia S2000 as well. So some decent fights to watch out for in the top 10. Early start then on Sunday morning, 7 AM in the service park in the centre of Ventspils. It's still dark as the teams prepare for the final leg of the rally. Freezing cold too. Breen and Kettemar getting ready to do battle. And this is the stages they'll be doing battle on. 6 more stages today, but it's the longest stage mileage of the weekend with 109 kilometres, so plenty of time left to fight for those all-important points. The same icy conditions as yesterday. Ready for special stage 10. 10.42 kilometres of vent bunkers. Francois Delacour 9th on the road. You can hear they're still struggling with short gearbox ratios. Broke the gear lever on the last event. You can see why there when you see how he attacks it. Lukianuk is the man he's locked in a fight with. Top speed of around 190 kilometres an hour on this stage. Despite a 35 km/h advantage over Delacour, he only beats the Frenchman by 0.6 of a second. Holds on to 3rd with an advantage of 14.6. Bit of simulcam for you then. Eurosport's exclusive simulcam. Delacour and Lukianuk. On the fast sections, the Mitsubishi much quicker, but in the twisty sections, the S2000 car, the 207 Peugeot, still able to make up some time. So not too much time lost on that stage for Francois. Jan Černý, the Fabia S2000, using new tyres today for the first time in the rally. Very, very happy with the grip, as you might imagine. 3rd fastest on the stage, only 1.2 seconds off the stage winner, so great progress. 6th overall, but heading definitely for the top 5, closing the gap to 5th by a couple of seconds on this stage. Craig Breen and Dave Moynihan screaming the Peugeot 207 into shot. Fantastic to hear. Normally aspirated S2000 cars, and look at Breen chucking it around as well. Bit frustrated by lack of top speed, same as Delacour. Not quite as slow as Delacour's car. We saw from the footage yesterday it seemed to be getting a bit longer. Was worried Peugeot Sport would ask him not to fight, but he sets a time of 4:53.9 and continues to chase Kettemar. And here is Kettemar, fastest again on special stage 10, in fact. Kettemar and Breen now equal on 5-stage wins apiece, both 5 in a row as well. Stages 1 to 5 for Breen and 6 to 10 for Kettemar. Breen stemmed the flow of time a little bit though. Kettemar only takes 0.2 of a second off him on this stage. So another simulcan then between Kettemar and Breen. Not much difference between the two cars here. Very, very similar, of course, in terms of agility and setup. Just the difference of the 1.6 turbo engine for Kettemar, 2-litre normally aspirated for Breen. Restriction on the turbo car on the air inlet just to try and get the power output similar. Very closely matched through there. Some stunning shots of the scenery. Very, very cold and icy this morning. Sim Plangy Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 R4 spec having a bit of a push on special stage 11, and it doesn't quite go his way. Weight transferred just a little bit too much there on the brakes, ends up with the spin round, and unfortunately he breaks the front left wheel and he has to retire. Was 7th overall and 3rd in the production cup before crashing out. There he is on the right hand side. Francois Delacour, as always, maximum attack from the Frenchman. 14 kilometres from the start, brakes a little bit too late, he misses a left-hand corner. Co-driver glancing out the window at the helicopter flying alongside. And here's Delacour off into the field, but watch this, immediately back on the gas and pulls another gear whilst going across a ploughed field, pops it back up onto the road, no problem at all. Might lose some time though to this man, looking up, hoping of course to be able to take advantage of any moments like that for Delacour, so he wouldn't have seen what's happened, and approaching the same point. You can hear the car winding up the top speed. Late on the brakes as well, you can hear the transmission chattering away there as he locks the wheels, and he runs wide as well. Doesn't run as wide off the road as Delacour, but he drops to 4th overall. So Delacour in fact managed to take more than 15 seconds off him, despite ending up going through the field. Top 10 as they stand, a couple of changes, but a few stages to go. Coming up next then, more action. We'll see whether or not Breen can attack Kettemar for the win in Latvia. We'll be back in a minute. Right, welcome back to Rally Liepaja Ventspil's second round of the European Rally Championship 2013. And we are headed for special stage 12. Well, at 26.34 kilometres, special stage 12 is the longest of the rally. Kuldiga, we're going to follow Cherney, Delacour, Lukianuk, Breen and Kettemar through this stage. Jan Cherney then, Czech driver in the Fabia S2000, was 3rd fastest on 10 and 11. Lost time in the early stages of the rally due to a few brake problems. He doesn't manage to find too much of a good rhythm in this stage for the first 10 kilometres or so. Very handy driver. He's a double 2-wheel drive European Rally Championship. Won the 2-wheel drive championship last year, 2012, also in 2010. So good to see him step up to 4-wheel drive machinery. Bit more snow and ice on these stages than we saw on some of the stages yesterday. Those studded tyres proving crucial in these conditions. Tight 90 left there and then a very long blast to the finish. Right on the limit he crosses the line, 14:19.2. It's an average speed of 110 kilometres an hour. Francois Delacour then leaves the start line. Of course, on his last stage, he had his field ploughing antics. See how much the corners start to cut up, especially the tight ones. And despite his problems, he managed to climb back up to third place overall, but only by 9/10 of a second. We saw yesterday on some of the quicker stages that they struggled for top speed in the 207, particularly Delacour's car. Geared very short, didn't have a pre-event test and chose the wrong gear ratios. You can see he's already lost time. 12.9 seconds, in fact, through the stage. Alexei Lukyanuk. Now this stage a bit twistier, not quite as suited to the Mitsubishi. You can see it struggling there to change direction. Heavier car, not quite so responsive, and with not quite as much suspension travel as the S2000 spec machines and the regional rally cars. Lukyanuk lives in St. Petersburg. He's competed in rallies in Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia. In fact, he started competing originally in a Lada in Russia before upgrading to the Mitsubishi and getting some decent results. Won the Tallinn rally last year. Time running on the screen. That's to the best time of all, which of course so far is Cherney. And he sensed some frustration there from him as well on the run down to the finish. 23.3 seconds down. And loses another 10 to Delacour, crucially. Craig Breen, though, and Dave Moynihan, full attack through there. You can see moving the car around. Looks like he's got good confidence. Santalock team urging Breen to settle for a second place.
Slowing 100, deceptive late 5 right plus. Tightens madly in over crest. 90. 3 right minus. And 4 left plus sharp keep in. And slide right. 70. Flat 2 left. 80. Slowing late 3 right plus. Into 4 left minus sharp. Tightens keep badly keep in. 50. Slide right, 250.
Breen running down to the finish. 8 rounds, of course, this year, his programme. 2.4 seconds. And they had a little problem with the car as well. Lost a little bit of power, an electrical fault to blame. And they'll be needing to get that sorted out at the next service, remote service coming up after this stage. Jari Katoma and Kai Lindstrom now in stage. Kai Lindstrom should be a name familiar to a lot of you. Used to sit in the British Rally Championship with Tapio Laukkonen. In recent years, he's been sitting with Mikko Pajunen. Also sat with the legend Tommi Mäkinen. Fantastic to hear the finish pace notes. Coming up towards the finish. Sat with Raikkonen last year, of course, and recently commented that Raikkonen doesn't say a lot in the car. Over the finish line then, 14:11.4. Ketema's now won 6 stages in a row. 5.4 seconds faster.